Welcome back. Now let's look at Nigeria's construction industry, also as it relates to cost of building materials and home fittings. We've seen price of cement, still elevated. Well, join us to get a sense of, most of the price changes and what to expect in 2025. We have Mr. Victor Chibike, is the MD, Madu Group, an online store for building materials. Great to have you on the show. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so a lot is happening in the construction industry. We've seen contribution to GDP, that's for the third quarter of 2024, that's about 2.9%, from 1.0% rise in the second quarter of 2024. Then we're also seeing those prices, stay elevated from cement, most of the building materials, from iron rods. We've also seen, internal home fittings too. The prices are high. Yeah. And when I check the prices of most of these properties, for sale, in the markets, they're crazy. How's it looking?
Okay, there are various factors that contribute to this because a huge percentage of our building materials are still imported, right? And that is where my company comes in to actually provide solution to this. We focus on manufacturing most of these products here back home using sustainable materials that we can find in abundance. We are looking at recycling plastics, recycling ions, using rammed earth, and also using our local woods here found in the country. So with that, it will actually help. But aside from that, the current culture of importing most of these materials will continue to affect the price of building materials.
Right, we're still, really big on importing, most of these items. Yeah. What about local production? Are we seeing any improvement, in that so far?
Of course, with the current reality of things, most engineers and architects are embracing locally produced building materials. I'm talking about the locally produced bricks using rammed earth, locally produced furnitures, locally produced doors, especially because companies such as ours, Madu Group, we have internationally trained artisans and work people that can give international standard, world-class standard, using our recycled materials, our local woods and our plastics as well.
All right, so, these are still early days, in the year, and, looking at the price of, cement at this time, everybody's in it for business, at this one. We're seeing 9,700, for a 50 kg bag. And, definitely that's impacting, those that are trying to do renovations, at this time. So, talk to me about how, people in your industry are navigating, these prices so that you don't lose, customers. Because at the end of the day, when you get some of these, bills, you're like, I can't afford this.
It's true. One way my industry, specifically my company, is solving this problem is educating home owners, architects, and engineers. Many of them are, a huge percentage of them are already aware of it already. We are educating them to embrace alternative building materials that are being produced using our local materials, and from the samples we have in our showroom, they've been able to attest that, yes, this is, of course, of international standard. Yes, we are looking at the plastic-made bricks, bricks of which plastics are adhesive, right? We are looking at bulletproof doors made from our locally accessible wood, Nigerian wood, right? We are looking at the furnitures that stand the test of time. Yes.
Right. I'm talking about furnitures that stand the test of time. We're seeing, some of, home interior items here, like just basic room doors. They range between 150,000 to 400,000 naira. Entrance security door, you just mentioned bulletproof doors. That's obviously more. 400,000, about 1.5 million. Bed frames going from 400,000 naira and above. Sofas, 800,000 naira and above. So I'm like, are we not going to be sitting in our homes, anymore, looking at these prices? And at the end of the day, it seems at the bottom of all of this is a currency devaluation.
Of course.
We've seen the naira, struggle, in the years past, but we're getting stability, at this point. So that should be helping keep these prices stable. Yeah. That's the US dollar against the naira.
Of course. Yeah. The reality on ground is why most of these products are still considerably high to the general public, common Nigerians, is because a huge percentage of the fittings used to assemble these products are still imported, right? As you know, most of these products can be made using wood, but things like the edge tape is largely imported. The hinges, the screws, they are largely imported, and that's where my company comes in. We are partnering with a lot of international companies to bring in their experts to train our Nigerian artisans here and the workforce here, and also bringing in good machines which we can study and use, and also in the future replicate, and thereby we are hoping to bring the prices of these things down.
Yeah, hoping to bring the prices down, because I spoke to one other player in this industry, and he told me that the prices might even go higher for these doors. And I'm wondering, we're seeing stability with the naira, but why is it projecting that these prices might actually go higher in 2025? Because we would like to see most of these come down.
Yeah, it's true. Yes,
from a government side, what do you think should be we should be doing at this time?
Factors that actually cause the rise is now the dollar is stable. During the time it wasn't, right? And things like mobility, the fuel, right? The fuel cost, and we are looking about other things like during importation, the fees the government, through custom take from importers led to the rise of these things. But what companies such as mine we are doing currently, we are kind of bringing most of this manufacturing of those accessories to be produced here in Nigeria, thereby making it homemade, right? And with that, a lot of the prices will come down. Considering those factors, I believe we're on the right path.
Right, and I'm wondering if everyone in the industry is actually looking at, getting more locally sourced, materials. Because if these prices, if naira stays quite, even though we're seeing the naira strengthen at this point, if it stays at these levels, we still consider it, quite weak. So, what kind of conversations are you guys having, in your industry to say, what, these are the issues, we still have to struggle with inflation and all of that. How do we put the customer first? How do we also stop profiteering? Because even though we see stability with the naira, we see some of these prices, some people will still say, it's old stock. I got it when naira was 1.7. Profiteering is still a big problem. How are you guys talking about it in your industry?
Okay, now Nigeria is a developing country, and everyone can agree that one of the Nigerian dreams is for everyone to own a home. Nigerians believe God doesn't bless you until you have a house, right? So there's a high demand for this. But what my industry is doing currently is especially when it comes to high demand, right? We have already trained artisans that produce world standard furnitures, and we are trying to use alternative energy to kind of beat costs, moving to solar to produce some of these products, of which the solar, solar is quite expensive, but which the solar machine can actually carry, and then employing the locals, they are quite affordable labor, right? So with that in place, most of this price will definitely come down. And also in our own part and what we do, and being confirmed by artisans and engineers who have visited our showroom, can attest to the attention to details. And one of the reasons why many Nigerians are running away from locally produced furniture is because they believe that Nigerian artisans don't pay attention to details and quality. But then our business it's a second generation business. We've been in existence for over 32 years. So we have integrity to protect. Like I tell my customers and also my staff that we trade on the currency of integrity. So we have that to protect, thereby with the testimonials from our customers, I can see we are on the right track to deliver world standard furniture at a fraction of the price.
Well, it's quite interesting. You know, we see some of our carpenters here not doing so badly. You know, with some of their production. Some of them can actually compete with some of the stuff we import. At this time. But we're hoping for better days so that we can all have seats in our homes. We can have doors our homes, and some of these property prices can come back down to earth. All right, thank you so much for giving us your perspective. Victor Chibike is MD of the Bimadu Group. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.